everybody. Welcome to the Full Court Press. I am your host, Drew Duncan. Don't forget Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is all at Drew Duncan 83. Additionally, you can find the Full Court Press MMA on all social media outlets as well. And don't forget to use the hashtag Don't You Dare Touch That Dial. Folks, I am super excited to have our next guest on the program. She comes in with 2 wins, 1 by knockout. As a matter of fact, she's even fought on a cyborg card. She's going to have a lot to discuss today. Her name is Tamikka Boom Boom Brents. Tamikka, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. And if I may, let's go ahead and get right into it. I know you don't have a whole lot of time today. Tamikka, one of the all-time greats in MMA, retires. GSP said he wanted to go out on his own terms. When you hear my own terms as a fighter, what does that say to you?
To me, it just shows he wanted to be in control. And I feel like when we all decide to actually hang it up, we want to, 1, do it on the win, and 2, decide ourselves. We don't want anybody telling us we need to. And that's what he did.
You know, when I think about all-time greats, I think about you as a fighter coming into your own, and everybody's got an influence. That one individual that you look at in this game, in this sport, whether it's boxing or direct MMA, and you go, that is my influence. That's the person that I looked up to and I aspire to be like.
I feel like I have like multiple for each category. Like you could do MMA for the women. It definitely has to be Gina Carano. I mean, she was Ronda Rousey way before Ronda Rousey knew she was going to be Ronda Rousey. She was a shit. So her, and then Cyborg, of course. She ran through people. Definitely Amanda Nunes. She's still like. I fought on a card with her, and she was, like, the nicest person ever to share a locker room with, like, and she's, like, it's crazy thinking now, looking back, like, she's the GOAT right now, and that's crazy. I got to freaking share a locker room with the female GOAT of MMA right now, and that's awesome. Definitely those 3. Megumi Fuji with MMA as well, like, she was, like, the Fedor. Like, nobody was beating her. It was just those 4 for sure. For women's MMA, for men's, GSP was definitely, he was I call him my feed donor. If I needed to make a badass MMA baby, I would take his sperm, place it into myself. But, like, using a turkey baster, because I don't want to do none of that other stuff. But, yeah, he's one of them. Him, Fedor was definitely one of them. Even though he lost recently, Cain Velasquez, like him being a heavyweight fighter that just never ran out of gas ever. I think he ran out of gas once in Mexico when he fought Verdum, and that was because the elevation was ridiculous. But other than that, like, it's crazy to see somebody that big and just he never got tired ever. And like those 2, Conor McGregor, definitely mostly because he's the best dressed fighter ever. His suits are amazing, and like his WWE style shit talk it's funny to listen to. And then just his striking is amazing. But just those guys for male MMA. I mean, I could go on, like Vasily Lomachenko for boxing, Joshua Kelly for boxing, Katie Taylor for boxing, Layla Ali, of course, Muhammad Ali. Like, I can go on and on. But I pull from so many different people I just look up to. Like, I'll sit and watch their highlight videos all day.
Tamikka, I don't think anybody paid attention to anything you said after you said turkey baster baby. I gotta know, do you legitimately know the story behind that?
I mean, I just know that, like, in the lesbian community, like, when they want to have a baby, that's what they say, get a turkey baster and pick a guy with some good sperm.
So I'm going to let everybody Google this later, but there was a hockey player that hooked up with the lady, at her job, and he was determined, right? And the bottom line here is, she took a turkey baster and extracted, what she needed, and then she just right into herself, and she was going to have his baby one way or the other. I'll let everybody Google that later on. So,
Genius.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do sometimes, I guess. We're
Google her network.
Man, it's got to be up there by now, pulling moves like that. We're talking to Boom Boom right here on the Full Court Press MMA. I am your host, Drew Duncan. Boom Boom, some people may look you up, and I'm sure there's a many that's going to do that right now. And they may look at your record and go, you're 2-4. Some people are going to see your last fight before 2018 was 2017, but there were a lot of canceled bouts in there. You had an injury. I mean, it just kind of seemed like everything started out so good. You're 2-0, and then all this other stuff sort of begins to unravel. Does your record define you? Does the last time you fought define you?
I mean, if they're a future opponent and they're judging me off of that, I hope that they do judge me off of those fights, because that means they're going to underestimate me, and I got a really good shot at shutting that shit down. But if you look at my losses, you're talking about, like, I lost to people like Bobby Joe Dazil. She's the number one 155er in the world right now. Mm-hmm. Like, I have no shame, and we went at it, and we're like, we talk to each other still. Like, we went at it, and we went to war, and she came out on top, and props to her. Like, I will say, like, I feel like my losses definitely don't define me. I fought tough people. I think the only person that I have lost to that I'm disappointed in myself at would be my Sarah Patterson loss. And it was more because she really thought that, like, she beat me, and she did not beat me. I tore my ACL the Tuesday before the fight, tweaked it. I stopped practice, and I just iced it to hell. And I already sold about $3,000 to $4,000 in ticket sales. People were already getting hotels. People were already coming to see me, and there was no way I was backing out of that. And that's the one, like, I would love to get that fight back. But other than that, I don't think you can judge me off my losses. It's not like you're picking some random people off the street that I'm fighting and getting my ass kicked. To these random people, I'm not. Like, I'm fighting legit people. I don't have any easy fights.
You know, and there's a lot of layers there to what you said, Tamikka, and I loved all of it. And what I'm probably going to go with here is you still talk to Bobby Joe. Look, there are a lot of people that feel that this sport, for whatever reason, they still believe this, is simply because people have a need for violence. But it goes beyond that. Being in a gym is an extension of family. And not only being in that gym, but having your team as well is an even smaller, but yet in a way greater extension of family. Can you speak to that for me, for the audience, please?
It's just like any team. I mean, the only difference is any person that grew up with like a close-knit team, like my teammates, I played basketball my whole life, and my teammates that I grew up playing basketball with are like, they're my sisters to this day. They will be in my wedding. They will be at my funeral or whatever. Whoever goes first, we're all going to be there. It's the same exact thing. Like, you don't just have to like violence. I mean, you have to enjoy it somewhat, but like, team, no matter what sport you're playing in, it's family. And I feel like even if it goes to like me and Bobby Joe, like, we fought each other, yes. Do we dislike each other? Absolutely not. Like, every time she fights, I'm rooting for her, and I know that she's rooting for me too. And that's just from a mutual respect. Like, anybody who gets in the cage, you got to have some respect for. They got in the cage. There's so many people that like to sit on the couch eating chips off their stomach and critique all the fighters or like any athlete. Oh, I could have done that crossover better. Yeah, I'm sure you could have did it better than LeBron James. I'm sure you could have. While you sit there and eat your second quart of Haagen-Dazs, I'm sure you could have did that better than him. Or like, you know what I mean? It's so stupid. I think that MMA people, especially female MMA, there's, of course, you have your catty mean girls or whatever, like that are legit just bitches. But then a lot of females, especially a lot of the females that I've been able to train with, like we all support each other. Like, oh, you need a training partner? I got you. I live 2 hours away. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna make the trip, and I'm gonna help you train. So I feel like no matter what, there's gonna be some kind of family in your team and some kind of support to any female who gets in there. Like you gotta, even if somebody goes in there and gets their ass tore up, like mauled, you gotta respect them for getting in there, and you gotta give them props. So.
Boom, boom. This is the part of the program where I give my interviewees an opportunity to say whatever it is that's on their mind. There is no right or wrong answer here. The floor is 100% yours. I can't wait for this.
I just want to thank everybody that supports me, especially my teammates. I've had multiple gyms that I go to, cross-train and everything. Robbins MMA, Corrective Exercise Sports Performance. Everybody at the Wolves Gym has helped me get ready for fights. Everybody that comes and trains with me, every gym I ever cross-trained at and got work at. Underdog MMA Management, I mean, like, that's a family right there. Definitely my fiance. She keeps me in check when I get a little too crazy, especially talking about turkey basters and whatnot. But definitely there. And our two boys, they're awesome, and they root for me. Like, I got a bunch of little mini families going on. But I think what I want to say mostly is your girl wants to box or kickbox right now. This is what I want to do. So anybody who's listening who has some boxing connections or some kickbox, I would rather box first, but I will take either or. I will do 147 boxing, and then around that weight for kickboxing. I don't even know the weight class for kickboxing right now, but I'm trying to get in there again. My last fight, like, don't judge me off my losses, or do if you're an opponent. Go ahead, do that. But I want to get in there. I want to bang it out and strike with somebody, boxing, kickboxing. Let's go. And thank you for having me on the show.
You're very welcome. But I got to tell you, Boom Boom, you kind of disappointed me. I was ready for something a lot more outlandish. And instead you hit me with this sentimental, I love everybody. I got all these little families. You know, the whole build up to that was for nothing. You gotta give me a topic. If you give me a topic, get personal, and I get a little wild. Oh, I seen that. Say whatever I want. Oh my gosh, Tamikka, you can be on the show anytime you want. I promise you. I would love it. Everybody, her name is Tamikka Boom Boom. My name is Drew Duncan, the host of the Full Court Press MMA. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is all at Drew Duncan 83. Don't forget to use the hashtag. Don't you dare touch that dial. And as always,